And welcome to the weekly on EqualizerSoccer.com, presented by North American Soccer Network. My name is Jeff Kassouf. I'm your host today, Monday, May 30th, Memorial Day. Hope you're all enjoying it. Hot and muggy now in the Northeast, so it's finally starting to feel a little bit like summer. So hopefully everybody's got some decent weather here on the holiday. Full slate of WPS action this weekend. Sky Blue FC hosting the Boston Breakers. Magic Jack hosted Atlanta Beat, coming off that first loss of the season to Western New York last weekend, and Philadelphia Independence hosting Western New York. Getting right into it, Sky Blue FC defeats Boston Breakers 2-1, second straight victory at home for Sky Blue FC, who is still unbeaten at Ursac Field, which is very different from what we've seen out of Sky Blue FC in the past couple of years. They're defending their home turf well. This week they go on the road to Western New York on Friday, so we'll see how that transitions, if they can carry over that momentum. But Carolyn Blank gets the 88th minute winner. A pretty good victory for Sky Blue FC, who I think, if you look at Sky Blue and Boston, they've been stacking up pretty evenly so far. They're obviously level on points right now, even though Boston's played a couple more games. So big victory for Sky Blue. Boston still can't get over that hump of Sky Blue FC. Still hasn't been able to win in New Jersey. So the Breakers, I'm sure, will be remembering that the next time they're there. I know they remembered it this time. So Boston's still looking to get over that hump. And Sky Blue FC, suddenly hot. We'll see, again, if that can carry over on Friday. But, Carolyn Blank getting the goal, I think she's been very good. Obviously not statistically, those haven't been showing up. But, just like Ali Long, I think that midfield combination, Angie Curran there, has done very well this season for Sky Blue. So it's good to see her get something to show for it in the statistics. Therese Sjogren with both assists there, and Eniola Luco getting the other goal. That's good to hear from Sjogren, who's had a little bit of difficulty adjusting to WPS so far. Maybe that's a suggestion that she's starting to come along. Not the best timing as she's about to leave for the Women's World Cup, but that's also, that's certainly a good thing for Sky Blue FC. Boston, still kind of an up and down team right now, still trying to find their feet. Breakers really, to be honest, I would say about where they were expected to be at this point. Same thing with Sky Blue FC, they're level on points, so that's really going to be, I think, the battle for fourth place is going to be Boston, Sky Blue FC. Philadelphia should probably control that third place spot, and then Magic Jack and Western New York seem to be kind of on their own level. Speaking of Magic Jack, 4-0 win over Atlanta Beat at home. Abby Wambach gets the hat trick. She comes off of a night where I would say she was a little bit disappointed in herself in Western New York. Her homecoming, she wasn't able to score. Team wasn't able to score last week in a 3-0 loss to Western New York. So 4-0 to Magic Jack. A good result for them. Atlanta Beat, I think the story here would just be, honestly, 4-0 is a pretty tough result despite any type of positivity. I think it's, there have certainly been positive things out of Atlanta, particularly player development. There have been players that have come along, some of the younger players that maybe haven't been heard of as much, particularly on WPS level. And, they've shown some signs of progress, but a 4-0 loss, to paint a rosy picture on that, I don't see how you do that. I mean, I think that, it pretty much speaks for itself, whether there was some luck or some unluckiness involved. I don't know how there's such a positive spin on things out of Atlanta, but seems to be some positivity. I mean, I guess, after a result like that, you need it, but, really, just an absolute thumping, in all honesty. So that's an interesting point to look at, with the Beat kind of playing this off as sort of a positive, their best week yet. We'll see if it translates into the next coming weeks. I mean, Magic Jack's obviously a tough opponent, but again, there's not much good to say about a 4-0 loss in most cases, and I don't think there's much to say about it in this case either. On to Sunday, Philadelphia loses 2-1 to Western New York Flash. Marta's PK is the difference. Megan Rapinoe opened the scoring with, whether it was intentional or not, a pretty nice shot / cross. We'll let her decide what she was doing on that one, but still beats Ashlyn Harris, who was pretty lost on the play. Western New York responds pretty quickly. Becky Edwards gets her second goal in as many weeks. McCall Zerboni involved in that. She was taken down on the PK, so involved in both goals. She's really been stellar pretty much at every position this year for Western New York, and she was, again, from more of a midfield role on Sunday. This game, I really think, was fairly even. I mean, Philadelphia controlled the game up until Western New York got that equalizer in the 20th minute, and I think Philadelphia looked pretty good. I don't think Paul Riley is going to be terribly unhappy with this result. He's got 2 more shots at Western New York, 1 away, 1 home, and some of the internationals might not factor into at least one of those games. So with Philadelphia less affected by international call-ups, I think Paul Riley would be not happy, but certainly not really upset with this result. So, Western New York stays unbeaten, 8-point lead at the top of the table. Certainly looks like they're going to be running away with things, but I think the only thing that could possibly even halt that or close the gap at this point looks like the trip down to Florida to play Magic Jack, where things will be a little bit different on a smaller field on grass. But, I still think Flash look like they're pulling away. Probably Magic Jack, and then maybe Philly. Maybe Philly catches up to Magic Jack. We'll see how that plays out. But, Philadelphia, I think, looked pretty good. They had some good service from Cristina DiMartino, as always. Amy Rodriguez, pretty active. One thing for me, still waiting to see Veronica Paquette. She did really well in the W League last year, had a good little stint with Chicago Red Stars. Still unavailable. Hopefully she factors in soon for Philadelphia, because she's a very exciting player to watch. And, like to see her in there soon. I think many people would like to see her in there soon. She'll bring another element to Philadelphia's attack. But Independence, I don't think they're terribly unhappy with this one. So Flash can walk away unbeaten. I think they'll be happy. A little bit of a different game plan from them. Not a different game plan, but, I think Flash sat in a little bit more than we're used to seeing them. But still get the result and, keep that 8-point lead over Magic Jack. So another full weekend. Next weekend, obviously, some more WPS action and the U.S. Women's National Team in action at Red Bull Arena against Mexico in their final game before the Women's World Cup. We'll have coverage of that as well as all the WPS games as always. Again, enjoy your Memorial Day. Hope all is well with everyone. And I'm Jeff Kassouf signing out for the Weekly.